All right, folks, good evening. And another day here. It's a Tuesday. I'm standing in. I'm Citizen Jones. Now, on the program this evening, federal government raises alarm over rapid spread of coronavirus, says it's running out of treatment facilities, just as Lagos arrests more clubbers and strippers, believe that, for breaching COVID-19 protocols. And later on, we'll share this with you. Federal government vows to complete Abuja-Kaduna-Kano road project by 2023. It targets 37 bridges in the process. I'm hanging out with Baba Jide Kolade Otitojo. Jide, I greet you.
Thank you for having me.
All right then, and we have Adekunle Yusuf. I've not seen you. Happy survival. So you made it. Great to see you are here.
I'm glad to be here.
Jide, the first thing that attracted me to him was his tummy.
Yes,
He's still protruding.
He's done well for his tummy.
Good. Keep it up. Now the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay then, let's get cracking. The cynical amongst us and their legion may continue in their scoffing of COVID-19 safety protocols, but the government is not ready to be deterred in its obligation in these trying times to the citizenry. The federal government has raised the alarm over rapid spread of the COVID-19 pandemic in our country, even as it laments that it's also running out of treatment facilities. Again, officials of the Lagos government appear to be in a running battle with habitual club goers and their cousins, the strippers, over COVID-19 protocol violations. No less than 43 clubbers and strippers were arrested at the Eclipse nightclub somewhere on the Victoria Island in Lagos on Sunday. As a people, haven't we come full circle, Jide? Can we really change anything here?
We are just very difficult people. We are extremely difficult as a people. Because I know that some arrests were made in excess of 100, during the weekend. So you mean that the day after those arrests were made, people still went to clubs, people still went to strip bars to get themselves arrested once again. So the question is, why are we doing this to ourselves?
Is it deliberate?
What really is the problem with us? Because, look, even if you do not value your life so important, how about other people? How about other people? The truth is, until we begin to make club owners pay, this won't stop.
Put simply, punish bad
both
behavior.
The patron, punish both the patron and the owner of the strip bars, the owner of the clubs. Because we never hear that the owner of a club got arrested. Most times they are not even there. Other people run the facility for them. They are in their homes enjoying the comfort of their beds and all that. While people club right into the wee hours of the day. So if we do not punish, either by way of revocation of the CFO of some of these people, or arrests the club owners themselves, this will not stop. Because if we are saying we are in a period of national emergency, national health emergency, why should we tolerate those who are making it difficult, if not impossible, for government to win this war? If government has committed so much money to this war, so much money, so much time, so much of its resources to this war, why are we condoning individuals who are sabotaging it? You saw what happened the other day. Some of those guys were built to even travel out of Nigeria the next day. Yet they were caught clubbing.
Oh, but
you know,
sometimes you are wondering. Sorry, may I just ask?
Can the Nigerians based abroad who came to our country and were clubbing with reckless abandon at a time when those activities had been banned, at a time when government made clear that those facilities should be shut, at a time when a curfew
is in place.
Was in place, can they sidetrack a curfew in the UK? Can they sidetrack a curfew in the US? We must make it clear that in our country the laws, we take the law seriously.
Oh yeah, but you are familiar with the story of a Nigerian who bought a packet of cigarettes, smoked everything, and kept the stubs in his pocket and emptied it as soon as he got to the airport here. Kunle, but I don't want to believe this is us. Is this us? Is this really Nigeria? Are we this way?
Well, I think so, because but I blame everybody from government to ordinary Nigerians. If you move around,
Please, sorry, look at the scene on your screen.
When the police stormed the club.
Now,
imagine this.
You can count on your fingertips how many people are wearing the mask.
This is not
People
about
don't wear masks
in this kind.
Okay, you don't need to wear the mask inside a club.
In this kind of situation, you don't even need a mask. Don't allow it to happen, whether you want to wear the mask or not.
You can see them.
At this point, what's the essence of clubbing?
You can see them.
Any space that permits large gatherings of people should be discouraged at this time. Whether it's for religious purposes, whether it's for enjoyment, fun, for political, for everything. At this moment, but we are not doing that. The consequences, when you look at the figures, unfortunately, many people, as this evening, you still have many people who don't believe that there's coronavirus.
Is that Nigerian? Is that really us? This is a contagion, a pandemic sweeping across the whole globe, and conspiracy theories are telling you and I this thing is a hoax. For instance, this is not, no pun is intended here. Governor Kogi State just reacted today, early today. The Commissioner for Information is saying the NCDC cannot cajole them into playing politics with the figures in their state, that there is no single case of COVID-19 in Kogi.
Well, that's serious.
It's not funny.
That's serious. Because as at that level of government, what do you expect? When there is still ignorance, when there is still doubts.
You call it ignorance?
Believe me, anybody that doubts coronavirus needs to enlighten himself.
A number one citizen of a state?
Does not matter the position you occupy. You can just choose to be ignorant. If you just choose to. At this level, I don't think anybody should be doubting coronavirus. Somebody asked me this question 3 days ago. I was in the midst of people. Somebody walked up to me that, sorry, is it really true that there is coronavirus in Nigeria? I said, ha! In the midst of people, and the person believed that I would be able to, say the truth. So we have that problem.
Is it about the truth or the fact?
Well, the truth, the fact, whatever you choose to call it. But the point I was trying to make is that the way we live now, we are in a big problem, because if you go to the mosques, if you go to the churches, if you go to our market, if you go to motor parks, all avenues where people can, you won't believe it that we have coronavirus in Nigeria. We don't show enough respect for the protocols, we are meant to observe. When you see vehicles loading to, outside Lagos, even within Lagos, then those going outside Lagos, you will ask, are we really fighting coronavirus? No, I ask that question all the time, that I don't believe we do.
Okay. Jide, when government says it's running out of treatment facilities, What message does it send to you?
It sends a clear message that this thing is spreading rapidly. It sends a clear message that at the rate we are going, the rate of infection and even admission in hospitals will outstrip the health facilities available. Already in Lagos, 51% of hospital bed spaces have been taken up by coronavirus patients. So you can imagine if 51% of inmates in our hospitals are coronavirus patients. How about other people, motor accident victims, cancer patients, people who have all kinds of ailments? It shows clearly that coronavirus has moved clearly to the top of the pile. It can no
Ahead
longer
of the others.
clearly ahead of the others. It can no longer be a subject of debate that in this country at this time, coronavirus is a health emergency. The bulk of our people hospitalized today are coronavirus patients. So malaria, used to be such a big problem. But coronavirus has overtaken malaria, not in terms of the number of people that it kills, but in terms of the attention that it's getting. And if we do not move fast, you can see even the rate of fatality is now 3%. From 1%
to 3.
Yes,
To 3.
is now 3%. And
Because the deaths
potential
of the last few days
Yes.
cannot be a hoax.
No, it cannot be. You see, a lot of the people who say, oh, this is just malaria in another form, is all because they can see that some of the symptoms of malaria are also symptoms of COVID-19. But there are some symptoms of COVID-19 that are not consistent with malaria. For example, for young people, little kids, when they are suffering from malaria, they suffer a bit of pneumonia. But for the adults, pneumonia is not a symptom of malaria. And where you have serious cases of sore throat, serious cough, and the headache, your head is pounding like it's going to blow into smithereens, you know that this is not, it's not malaria. At that point, and you have hiccups.
We didn't say you should cough.
Breathlessness.
Sorry.
You know? Thank God I'm far away from you. You know?
Yeah.
So, and breathlessness, once you are going through all that, stop thinking it's malaria. The best thing is to go
Seek medical attention.
Yes.
And advice.
Get yourself tested.
Diagnosis.
And if you were tested the first time, you need to get tested the second time after 7 days. That's the only way you can guarantee, because you can actually test negative. In a few days, if you go back, you'll be positive. It happened to my uncle. Because we were happy.
That he got through.
Yes, but he felt really ill. He knew at that point that I needed to do something. By the time he got back, it was discovered that, he tested positive.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the whole of the Christmas and New Year, he could not celebrate.
It was anxiety.
Yes,
for
he could not
him and
celebrate.
many
Yes, yeah. So, you know, when you hear this and you know how that it's killed friends, it's killed people that you know, you will be worried for anyone that is close to you that's infected by this virus. So our people need to stop this sheepish attitude of living in denial, of believing that this thing does not exist, or they want to use it to steal money. And see, just look at this person. See the way he's struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
See the way he's struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
This is the problem. Everyone that you see oxygen cylinders everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
They are now consuming 300 cylinders of oxygen every day.
This cannot be make-believe.
No, it's not. It's not. All that it takes is for one to go there. And ultimately, some of the people that we even saw, can see struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
You know? Struggling to breathe. Look at another person struggling to breathe. Our people can't see things like this and still be deceiving themselves
But
that
this cannot be faked, Kunle. This cannot be faked.
Look at the woman struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
And see this person.
Kunle, please, let's quickly go there. Testing had been a sore point in the battle against COVID-19.
Yes, and it still remains a sore point. Unlike many countries, what they did, they attempted, or they even did it, to test all the population. But we can't do that.
Otherwise, you are telling me it is possible to test a sizable proportion of the population?
How many are we? Are we up to a billion people? It can be done. It can be done.
So where's the problem?
At the rate we are going, we will need probably, at the rate we are going, we have only tested 1,025,560 people as at yesterday morning.
And that's since February 27th,
yes,
when this crisis snaked into our shores through the back door. So that says something about the rate of test. But let me tell you, when you see figures from NCDC, that's the one captured by NCDC. There are many people out there in the community who didn't approach NCDC, who didn't do any test. Many people, yes. So when you look at
rich people,
when you are talking about fatalities and you said 3%, no, it's beyond that. It's more than that.
Have you heard of people who are afraid of getting tested?
Because the community, stigmatizes them. You see families, even when they lose people to coronavirus, you see family members trying to say,
to change the story.
They don't want the media to report it as coronavirus. As if that will change anything.
Yeah. And Yusuf, at the rate we are going, are you thinking what I'm thinking? A second lockdown?
Well, I don't pray we do.
It's not about prayers.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I know why I'm saying so.
Okay.
So we had first lockdown, and we all witnessed what happened. It created, business opportunities for our security agencies because people didn't comply with the lockdown. Forget whatever anyone is saying. The night is for them to travel. People were traveling all over Nigeria.
Do you know,
from Kano to Lagos, from Lagos to East, from East to everywhere.
Yeah.
And they inflated the price, and some of them will tell you that at each, checkpoint,
you drop
1,000 naira, and you can do that in 200 places before you get to Lagos. But it does not matter. You get to Lagos. So, but do we have the infrastructure to take care of people when you do lockdown? When you consider the fact that the vast majority of Nigerians don't depend on any government, be it state, local, or federal, to feed. They work, they get little money, they get on a daily basis, and they take care of themselves. So who takes over such responsibilities? So if you want another second lockdown, it's an invitation to further destroy our economy, which is already, in tatters.
Battered, yeah.
It's already in tatters. So what I will expect is for the government to come up with better enlightenment programs, then enforce the non-pharmaceutical, protocols.
We'll come back there, but let's engage. Ademola is reaching us from Osun State. Good evening, brother. Welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity to contribute.
Let's go.
Yeah, I just want to inform you that right now I've just arrived in Iloko Ijesha. Do you know what happened from Oseluku in Benin City? I observed it partially. So, two on a 18-seater bus to Akure. But from Akure to Ilesha, we were packed like sardines. Even with both these people that mine, these Hausa people that go in the Ilesha area, we were packed like machines, like sardines. In fact, I've just arrived now, not quite 15 minutes to my home in Ilesha. you can imagine if those kind of things, if you can be packing people like sardines from
Ademola, I beg, try to get tested though. It's only, I'm not being alarmist, you know, it's, because if you say you were packed like sardines, obviously it leaves so much to the imagination. No, it's not laughing matter. Thank you, Ademola.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
So the government will need to step up, you know,
Enlightenment.
Yes, enlightenment first, then enforcement of non-pharmaceutical protocols. That's the best option that we have. In Nigeria, not the lockdown. They are doing lockdowns in some places and you see beautiful results. In our own place, I doubt it. What, to me, is our best opportunity to handle this matter, enforce with all whatever government can do, enforce non-pharmaceutical, you know, protocols seriously.
When you say non-pharmaceutical, what do you mean?
Okay, for example, you know, avoid any space that people gather.
Okay.
Natural. When you do whatever you want to do, you must wear your face mask. Anywhere where you meet people or whatever, you know, do hand washing, use sanitizer, all the basic things that we have to do.
Reaching,
but today, you still have people doing parties, weddings, burials, all sorts of things all over.
Thank God you are not Ijebu. I hear Ijebu people love parties.
How long can we?
You didn't hear that.
How long can we look the other way? Because I read Mr. Babafemi Ojudu, what he said, you know, he passed through this and what he wrote.
Yeah.
He said he was too sure that he got it during a party that he attended. That a party he didn't want to attend, but because of the love and respect he had for his friend.
Love, respect.
But at the end of the day, he almost lost his life.
At a time like this.
He almost lost his life. So we need to, at this moment, the government will need to put a permanent ban for now, even if it's 6 months. Look at Germany. They just extended their distance today. The one they started in December, they extended it to today by 10 more weeks in Germany. But we are not Germany because we don't have the structures to take care of the people.
Okay.
I will not, you know, expect a lockdown. There are other countries that are doing it, but in our own case, the best that we have, somebody, you know, just told you about his experience, you know, traveling along. Go to our motor parks, look at our downforce.
Okay, we'll get back to that. As a matter of fact, quite a lot to discuss, but I hear we must take a commercial break. We'll be back shortly. Please stay. Okay then, let's keep it going. If you missed it from the top, the federal government is expressing a lot of reservation. It's running out of treatment facilities, and so it calls for a lot of introspection. If you don't believe the virus is, at least listen to those who tell you, talk, and after listening to them, do something else. But you have a choice. Lagos State government has arrested clubbers on the island. These are guys, but you don't begrudge young men who want to express themselves and so on. But Kule is talking about barring or shutting down clubs. We talk about government going too far. Is there any such thing at a time like this?
Oh no, government has not even gone far enough, in my view. There's nothing like going too far. The problem with us is that we want to break every law that is there. Yet when things fail to work, we are the quickest to blame our government. We are the quickest to say Nigeria, nothing works. How can Nigeria be like those Sena climbs that we talk about?
My climb is sane, but some people are not sane.
Well, if you have so many people who are not sane, then you can't be seen as a crime that is sane. Because when you look at the law of averages, you then see that you can't rationally describe the place as a place where sanity reigns. So this is the thing. This is the thing. Where bandits will go to communities, seize communities, and be telling them that you must pay 5 million before
To be let,
you can have peace.
yeah, yeah.
It's not a place where
That's not sane.
sanity reigns. So it's not a sane climb, you know. So this is the thing. Let's deal with the pack of wolves at the door. This issue, our people can't simply be living like nothing has happened. This thing has come to alter our way of life. Just like when terrorism came, you then discover that, oh, at the airports you must remove your shoes before you can board an aircraft. Oh, even your belt you have to remove. Then somebody will come to frisk you, you raise your hand up. Then they will press your body parts, this and that. That was what terrorism brought with it. But right now, coronavirus has now taught us to take the washing of our hands seriously. Coronavirus has taught us that, look, when people talk, those droplets, when they touch you, especially your face, you are likely to be
And when people
infected.
sweat in a crowded place.
Yes, your body touches someone who sweated. Definitely, you are in danger. So people need to take this thing seriously. People have asked the question, why have we experienced a spike? It's so easy to explain, because some time ago, parties could not hold. Government said, no, you can. Even the facilities were shut. People could not hold parties. But we've gone back. We've gone back to behaving like nothing has happened. Some time ago, schools were shut. But schools have since been reopened without strict adherence to the protocols outlined by the PTF. Right now, we have air travel, we have travel on land, much more than it was some months back, when even interstate travel was banned. Of course, it was breached.
And when Britain said, yeah, have your Christmas Day celebration, but no Boxing Day anything, it means it hit them hard.
See, I was telling, I think it was on this program that I said, Sir Matt Busby way, you know?
Okay, in Manchester.
In Old Trafford, yes, Old Trafford.
Yeah.
On a day that Manchester United was playing a big game, what did we see? The streets were empty. On Friday, do you know how many people died in Dublin? 8,000 persons in Dublin.
Ireland.
8,000 persons. Americans now, on the average, about 4,000 Americans are being lost every day. Look at California. Look how many people are dying in California every day. In every 12 minutes, one person dies. So, must we now wait until we get to that point? Unfortunately, in our country, because I heard my brother talking about enforcement, we must enforce. Did we not try to enforce the last time? What is the effective? Can we talk about the effectiveness of our law enforcement agencies?
Can we quickly,
where people put money before professionalism?
Yeah,
can we be guaranteed that the enforcement will be total?
Let's quickly, in our mind's eyes, rush to River State, where Wiki brought down a building and which split opinion in the country.
Yes, it did. It did, but sometimes too, our people need to be straightened up. People felt he did it, that he had political motivation for doing that. That's why a lot of people didn't support him. But if the law was there, you have no reason to breach it.
Oh, yeah.
But if it went against the law in demolishing the building, then it should be taken to court. But the truth is, we need to be more serious about enforcing the COVID-19 protocols. But my problem is with the people whose duty it is to enforce. Is it practicable? Because in Europe, for example, in some countries now, you must wear the mask in public.
Yeah.
Is it practicable for us to enforce that in a place like Lagos?
It is, except that, Jide, you know as much as I do that we won't allow police do its job. If any friend of mine or yours is in trouble, a phone call, officer, and so on. You know, these are things that will kill the. But so before we take it home, you talked about mass mobilization again. How about appealing to religious leaders of every faith, because they command hundreds of thousands, and the mind of the convert?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the religious, gatherings are also a super spreader of these infections. Yes, but it is a bit better maybe in churches and other religious organizations than when you go to our motor parks, you go to clubhouses, you go to...
No, actually I meant if we speak to to talk to them, because at that point it will be...
They are not, okay, look at Lagos State. Beyond, religious leaders, they even use celebrities, they use people, who have named for themselves in sports, in entertainment,
Name them.
Because they believe people listen to them, people, respect them. Maybe the message can sink in. Let's see how that works. But as far as I'm concerned, we still need to enforce. When Lagos State goes to anywhere, to arrest people, the moment a fact of breach has been revoke the title, ownership title, immediately.
Yeah.
Arrest the owner and so when you do extreme measures like this, some people will see. But when you say you will pay 50 million, some people will commit the offense multiple times and be paying the 50 million. They don't care. We are wasteful here.
Okay.
So
all right.
We need to go extra measures sometimes to send message that the state government, the federal government, we are serious about this.
Send messages to these same people.
Yes.
All right then. Okay, we have one last call here. Right? Yakub is in Lagos here. Yakub, good evening to you. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, citizen, and then Babajide, and then the other gentleman in the studio.
Adekunle Yusuf, that is the other, if it's gentle, welcome. Let's go.
Adekunle. Yeah, you see, citizen, I think we are already in it. I can tell you in my locality here, the rate of malaria, people that have malaria now is very, very increasing. They will tell you that it's malaria. Everybody is suffering from malaria. It is rampant now these days. And then the enforcement is the issue here. Last time, when we are not even into it like this, they said the Marua should carry just 2 passengers. Babajide, if you see Marua today, they will carry 3 at the back. They will still join another one in the front. Look at all these yellow bus. They are not carry as much as they can. And then we're going to enforce it, the police. And then the answers of the issue have already demoralized the police people. And then I don't just know how we're going to go about it. Because we don't even have human power to enforce that. And then go about the lockdown, since the second lockdown, it is going to be very, very difficult.
Okay. Thank you.
We said then that they could not enforce it, even before the NSAS thing. When Lagos State government rolled out those measures that, look, in motor parks, you must sanitize your vehicle, you must have running water in your motor park. I said it at that time that these boys will not comply. They did not comply even for one day.
Didn't comply.
One day they did not comply. And that was long before NSAS came. Because everything now is NSAS, we blame NSAS, that's NSAS demoralized the police. When there was no NSAS, there was no attempt to even enforce the directive of the government.
Oh, yeah.
You know that the motor boys, they are the most cantankerous that you can find. They will not just accept. They said, don't carry only 60% capacity. They refused. Yet they increased the traffic this thing.
Sometimes you wonder
They increased the fares.
They say, which one concern Agbero with overload and so on. But again, let's go to our second story, but not before telling government that sometimes doing your best is not enough. Doing what is necessary remains the option here. We're done. Okay, to our next story. You know, our country is replete with infrastructure deficit characterized by white elephants all over the place. And you wonder if offenders will be punished in any way. The current administration never really talked about new projects. Rather, it vowed to complete mostly abandoned ones, many of them dating back to 20 years. One of such is the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Highway. Work on the 375-kilometer dual carriageway is ongoing, and government vows it's targeting a 2023 completion time. In addition, 37 bridges across the country are listed for construction and or renovation. In the mind's eyes, one is picturing a pleasurable times on the highways, if brigands permit.
Yes, you see that road,
Abuja, Kaduna,
Kano. It used to be simply Kaduna Kano highway, which was constructed in the 90s when we had Kontagora as
Works Minister.
Works Minister.
Yeah.
And then it became the sole administrator of Ahmadu Bello University. That was the last public assignment that he got. The road, that expressway was the best in the country at that time.
Is it a straight thing?
All the way from from Kaduna to Kano.
Okay.
Passing through the back of Zaria straight to Kano.
Okay.
You know, there are bends here and there, bridges, so it's not really a straight road. But the last time I went to Kano and I had to travel to Kaduna from Kano, I saw that the road was in such a terrible shape. Terrible shape. Well, you see, if we do excellent road, there won't even be any need to come back in a few years and totally relay the asphalt on the road, because that is what...
If the initial job...
If it was an excellent job.
Yeah.
And I will give the example of this Kudirat Abiola Way. When Kudirat Abiola Way was constructed by the Bola Tinubu administration, even the excavation they did on the road, you know that these guys meant business. And what did Julius Baja say? Julius Baja said, you won't see any pothole on that road until after more than 14 years. I can tell you...
And the road is older than 14.
Yes, it's more than 14, which means that it has even exceeded their expectation. I remember the interview, Tempo had an interview with Chief Bode George. He said, oh, that road will be washed away because it was complained that the road was expensively built. Tinubu did 2 roads at that time that cost a lot of money. The Igondo Road. Road.
Yeah, Igondo, yeah.
And that Kudirat Abiola Way. The Igondo Road was even cost 1.1 billion at that time, but this one was around 900 million. You know? He said it will be washed away in no time. But go on that road now, drive through whether you will see any pothole.
Yeah, I agree.
No pothole after more than 20 years. No pothole on that road. So if the Kaduna-Kano road had been delivered in the same quality,
yeah,
quality assurance test had been conducted on that road, and that quality of road that Tinubu gave us, including Adabiola Way, was delivered there, nobody will be talking about rebuilding that road now. But that's what we are doing now. So we are rebuilding all the way from Abuja now.
Yeah. Through
Abuja comes down to Kaduna,
and then
comes down from Kaduna, then from Kaduna
to Kano.
to Kano. That's what we are doing now, 375 kilometers. So they are saying that they've successfully done 100 kilometers,
Yeah,
although not at a stretch. But the good news is that perhaps the busiest part, that is the Kaduna to Kano, the busiest part of that stretch, they've successfully done 70 kilometers.
Okay.
On that, on the busiest part. So it means that they are progressing at a very good speed, which is similar to what we are seeing with the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The Ibadan end, that is Shagamu to Ibadan, you can see that so much work had been done. If you are coming into Lagos from Ibadan, you will enjoy an excellent ride right up to as you are approaching Ogiri.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, that's when you now see that, okay, they still have work to do in that area. Travel time will reduce, loss of lives will reduce when the people can travel on an excellent road.
Yeah.
Kaduna Kano Expressway, kidnapping is rampant. Abuja Kaduna Road is like even the headquarters of kidnapping of highways. So once these roads are completed, we must also think about securing
the highways.
Yes, because
it is
what
key.
is the point? Otherwise, people won't use the road. People will find alternative. The road, there are some roads in northern Nigeria that are excellent that people hardly use.
Yeah.
Because they know that it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And there are some highways too in northern Nigeria that guarantees you shorter travel time. But because it's dangerous. Look at Kaduna, through Briningwari, through Tegina, through Mokwa, coming to Lagos. People hardly use that road anymore. And it is a shorter route. So people will now, these days, what do? They will come, they will come through Ekiti State, all the way from Kaduna. They will go to Abuja. From Abuja, come through Ekiti State.
Just to get to
They're coming to Lagos. But they are scared because if you use that route, you may not come back to tell the story.
You see, but we can at the same time look at, I talked about white elephants spread across the country, including my state, your state. And nobody gets punished. These contracts, many of them were awarded, and you hear that more than 2/3 of the contract sum paid.
Well, what we want to correct is most times when we report that contracts were awarded, were not executed, we didn't get to the root of the problems sometimes. And I'm to blaming we who report them.
Yeah.
Believe me, contract awarding and contracts that are cash backed, they are not the same thing. This is not to speak for any authority or any government or anybody. But the truth is that we have several abandoned projects all over Nigeria. Many of them genuinely abandoned because there is no cash.
And many others
to do them.
Not genuinely
The one
abandoned.
we are talking about now, when it was done at that time, you see, when Aregbesola was governor of Osun State, he was doing something that I really liked. If he's building one road, the day it is awarded, it will tell you how long the road will last. You say in the next 30 years it will be like this. So you expect what they are going to do. I want that to happen at other levels of government as well. this one they are doing, I want you to be able to tell me. When Jide was talking about Kudrat Abela Road, of course you may say it's not as busy as Lagos Express. I would say yes, you are right. But it's a fantastic road. And everybody you will love to pass through there too. Not as long as, Lagos Ibadan. But we are saying when you build our roads, you can tell us that in the next also number of years, this is what you will enjoy. So this one that is being done, so that we can hold them to account. They won't be in government for life. Some other people will come. So that we say, okay, this one that we are doing, we can guarantee you, smooth experience for a total number of years. Yeah. That we want to know, so that we'll be able to say, oh, when they did it, they told us 10 years. Now we have enjoyed it for 20 years.
But this is not to allow abandoned projects.
It's
a culture that must be stemmed.
But not
part of it is
not
the fault
all
of governments.
Okay,
let me just
government
buttress.
To be able to borrow money like this government.
Let me buttress that point a little bit. These federal lawmakers, they all want projects from their communities. Now, you allocate so amount of money in the budget for roads. Those ones have not been completed. Instead of providing money to finish those projects, you are after new projects. That's why, in many cases, projects get abandoned. Because you've not provided the funds for the contractor to finish it.
But they have been so awarded.
Yeah, it's not enough to award, but you must provide the funds for him to finish it. That's the truth.
You want to back it.
So when you are concentrating more on new projects, you have to praise this administration because they said, okay, we want to complete
ongoing
project. That's the value of experience. The man had been in government before. He knew that one of the big problems we face is that we have this one, instead of funding it to completion. Because when contracts are awarded, it's not in all cases that the contractor will just get all of the money. Nobody even does that. You give the contractor all of the money. In the course of executing the project, even the Naira, dollar, this thing
would have,
can even cause the project to be abandoned, except you bring the funds. So many times, those contractors will be waiting. You do not bring them enough money for him to complete the contract. And the contract sum needed maybe to be reviewed. You are reluctant to do that, the road will be abandoned. The road will be if you ask Fashola this question, how come there are so many of those? He will tell you that, look, his own concern is let these politicians allow us to finish the ones we are doing. Why are they all concerned about new projects in their area so that they can say they are working? And critical roads, you don't want to focus on them. You will not appropriate money for those critical roads. Definitely, they will be abandoned. That's what is happening. You go to travel around the country, you see abandoned.
Permit me to talk about the Calabar E2, in Akwa Ibom, that road. A trunk A road. It used to take 45 minutes from Uyo to Calabar. Today, 3-4 hours.
Yeah, once it becomes a very bad road.
I know
the road
if you get attention of Fashola, I can. Yeah. And if they have the funds.
If the funds are available to him.
There's one thing, if you can sustain it, which is like a paradigm shift, which this government has started. That is to say, all ongoing projects, that's what the government of the day is interested in, not new ones.
Yeah.
So if you like, you can now trade, play your games later that who initiated it, who started it. But let's finish
no, the
all
truth is always is the person who finishes it that gets credit.
So this government has been able to, rise beyond, that, sentiment that people will not say.
Let's do our own signature project.
To me, that's good for Nigeria. So if another administration comes, continues that way, believe me, we will get there. It may take long, but
and I saw even they also said they are going to do bridges.
Okay,
37 bridges.
Them, yeah.
So I'm seeing some bridges mentioned here.
Yeah,
Lagos, Third Mainland Bridge, Lagos.
Yeah.
Second Niger Bridge, Ikom Bridge in Cross River, Murtala Mohammed Bridge in Kotonkarfi, Tabatu Bridge linking Kwara and Niger, Isaac Boro Bridge, Port Harcourt, Tamburawa Bridge in Kano, the Loko Oweto Bridge across River Benue, which is now 97% completed. It links the north and the south over the River Benue.
Benue River, yeah.
So these roads, each of these bridges are very crucial. They've targeted bridges that are linking the geopolitical zones. They are very vital bridges, because when you look at you are going to Lokoja, for example, that Kotonkarufi Bridge, you know, is a very, very important one. If anything happens on that bridge, the kind of gridlock that you experience. So now they are trying to fix that bridge, get it completed. So it's a good thing that they are doing, just like the Takwe, Ajakuta rail line.
Believe me, I passed through the second Niger bridge, you know, during this Christmas. I traveled that, and you see the enormous work this government has done in that.
With a real track on it.
I was highly impressed. I won't lie to you.
No, that's
whatever anybody will say on that bridge, they've done a lot. They've not completed it. There's still a lot to be done, but you will see work that quality work that they are doing there.
Okay.
Believe me, I believe with what they are doing, if you go in this way,
hopefully they can deliver Lagos Ibadan at the end of this year.
I'm not particularly happy about the slow pace of work on that.
It's slow on the built-up end.
From Shagamu intersection.
It was expanded here because of the volume of traffic.
It is in the built-up area that they've really experienced problems. Because whether we like it or not, it's easier to walk where there's less traffic and all that. But with a lot of people living in this area, you are bound to
Jide, Yusuf,
their mind.
If we take it from the top where we started to now, there's a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. If we keep going, at least let's be seen to be doing something.
Yes.
Let's be seen to be doing something.
And the government will be praised when it's doing something.
Yes, yes.
We cannot be praising and praising and praising even when there's no basis for it. Our job as journalists is to be factual, to be objective. Where you've done something right, you deserve praise, you will get it. Where you don't deserve praise, even if there are 1 million people who sit on social media to simply abuse people, you will not get that praise. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
It's as simple as that.
Yusuf, we must pack it in. Wish you well.
Thank you very much.
It's a new year, so new thinking, new ways of doing things.
Yeah.
New dream.
A new dream, yeah. And it's not a bad thing to dream, but you are asked to wake up when you dream.
No,
go to work.
You know, sometimes when dream sweet, you feel like you shouldn't wake up.
So that's it, folks, for the evening. There's another program tomorrow. And of course, we are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Citizen Jones. Bye-bye now. Take care.